Are you blocking divine support? Are you unconsciously blocking support from your spirit guides, from your angels, from your higher self, and from your intuition? Well, you might be. In this video, I'm gonna share with you some of the most common ways we block divine support and simple tools to overcome those unconscious blocks so we can be a better, gracious receiver. Your guides, your angels, your spirit, and your higher self are constantly guiding you and supporting you every single day, step by step along your human journey. Now, we can unconsciously block divine support. And if we're unconscious of these really simple common blocks, then we can often feel frustrated with our relationship with our guides, our angels, feel like we're not doing it right. So let's get down to brass tacks. But before I do, let me introduce myself. Hi, I'm Sonia. I'm a fourth generation intuitive, and I teach you how to plug back into your innate divine self, your intuition. So if you're new here, hi, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. Don't forget to hit subscribe and that little bell notification because I release new videos every single week. Hit it. I forgot to mention, I am teaching an intuitive development class all about strengthening your intuition, your relationship with your guides, really getting out of black and white thinking. September 14th from 7 to 9:30 p.m. Check my website, soniatully.com, or in the comments below for more information. I can't wait to see you there. And I also want to ask you, did you see my video last week all about the most common misconceptions about the law of attraction? If you haven't, go back. If you did, leave me a comment in the comments below. All right, enough housekeeping. Let's get down to it. Blocking divine support. Now, one thing we have to remember is that your guides and your angels, your intuition, your higher self can't overpower your free will. We have to be available to be supported. We have to be available for guidance. We have to be available to be flexible, to be movable, to make decisions, to trust our guidance, to trust our spirit guides, to trust ourselves. And one thing that I know to be true about people who are empathic and intuitives is they're very good at giving, but they are not good at receiving. Now, empaths, intuitives often are the first one to be there when somebody's struggling, offer advice, help you move, listen to a download. But often this can actually be unconscious, codependent, people pleasing because it's not centered in ourselves. It can be a reaction to other people's discomfort. And so what we try and do, because we can feel their energy, is that we try and fix or manage or figure out their solutions. And that means that we're very good at giving. Now, it's not heart-centered giving, as much as we'd like to believe so. What it is actually giving out of a place of anxiety. And when we are giving out of a place of obligation, we're not giving out of a place of a clear heart. So, in order to be a good and gracious receiver, as a way to actually move from blocking our divine support to accepting divine support, is first by even being available to be uncomfortable with other people's emotions. This doesn't mean that we need to fix or manage or figure out, because the moment that we try and do that, we actually get out of our own experiences and get into other people's energy bodies, which means that we get disconnected from the present moment, we get disconnected from home number one, our bodies, we get disconnected from remembering that we have our human selves that navigate the world, but we also have our spirit, our higher self. And so the more that we can actually first trust our own spirit. Now, my favorite tool, as I always say, hand on your heart, hand on your belly, take a deep breath in through your nose, exhale like you're exhaling 10 birthday candles, and placing your attention on your heart center, letting the chatter quiet. The more that we can develop and nurture a relationship with our own spirit, we recognize that we don't have to manage everything, that we don't have to manage the world around us, which also means that we can trust other people's spirit. Maybe their human lives might be complicated, maybe they are struggling, but that it's not our job to fix or figure it out, or somehow believe that if we get to the people around us to somehow get to a place of ground, then we'll be available to check in with our own intuition. So first, really check in. Am I constantly in other people's energy? If I'm constantly in other people's energy, I'm not present to myself, to my experience, to my needs, which also means that I'm not available to even check in with my guides, with my higher self, with my angels, and even to be available for what support I need. In order to be supported, in order to be gracious, even gracious givers, we need to be able to be gracious receivers, which means that we also need to be able to know what's our job, what's not our job, and where we need help. Because when we overgive, when we're overgiving energetically, even to the people around us, what happens is that we confuse really that with control. And when we're in control, trying to control and manage other people's experiences, discomforts, upsets, we are not in our spirit. We are not in our higher selves. We are in what we call our high intellect, which is not a place where we're really available to receive. So first, check in. Do I overgive? Do I ask for help with people who are in and around me? If I'm saturated or not available, can I say no? These are all ways that we connect and protect with our own energy bodies, become more attuned to our own energy, bring us back into the present moment, which actually opens us up to divine support. I don't need to figure it out. I can turn it over to my higher self to figure out. So here's a question for you. Tell me in the comments, how do you feel when you're around somebody who's experiencing anxiety? Do you feel like you need to fix it? Do you take a moment and recognize? Now, this is a plague amongst empathic and intuitive people. And when we recognize that the discomfort that comes up, that compulsion to fix, to figure out, to manage, is just a way that we ourselves are trying to find ground and safety. So my favorite tool, hand on your heart, hand on your belly, bring yourself back to the present moment, bring yourself back to your physical body, and just even there, we can open up to divine support. I need help. I'm struggling. I feel uncomfortable. And knowing that those sensations in our bodies are telling us something, and they'll pass. They will pass. They're just messengers. It's not end all be all. Second of all, in really opening up to divine support, because another thing that comes hand in hand with that is unconscious control. When we're opening up to divine support, we have to expect that our guides and angels will be there, which means that we don't need to try and figure out. Start to open yourself up to messages, open yourself up to signs, and really pay attention to the things that come into your awareness. Now you can go on Google and say, is this a sign? But that's your intellect. What are the things that catch your awareness? How does it resonate in your body? Step into your own authority around your own intuitive guidance. And last, when you get those signs, whether it might be a flower on your road, maybe it's a song, maybe it's something somebody said, maybe it's the perfect line in a book that you read. Instead of trying to figure out what it means, just give yourself pause. Give yourself a moment to go inwards, and instead of thinking about it, see what bubbles up from within. To start to create a dialogue and a message with your deeper self, with your own spirit, developing a language in the way that your spirit and your spirit guides, your intuition and your higher self speaks to you. As my mom says, intuition doesn't speak English. So instead of going to the intellect of chatter, recognize, how does this resonate in my body? What are the things that drop my attention? Where can I ask for more help, more support? What are the things that I'm struggling with? And so when we're needing more divine support, a really simple way that we can do that is turn that over to pray. Now, some people might have a complicated relationship with religion, but really prayer is just turning a problem from our limited mind over to something higher, that we don't need to figure it all out. And trust and sometimes it can be a struggle, with practice, that as you open up to more grace, as you open up to more support, as you open up to more solutions, as you get out of the binary of intellect, the more that your spirit and intuition will speak to you. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, like I said, don't forget to like, subscribe, that little bell notification, leave me a comment. And last but not least, an intuitive's best friend to access support, to not block support, is good energetic boundaries. Does this feel good? Do more of it. Does this feel not good? Do less of it. Is this actually my problem? No, turn it over. I need help. And then be available and pause and see what might surprise you and what might show up. If your head's really talking, if you're really struggling with it, journal, empty the garbage, ask. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much. Go to my website, soniatully.com, check out my spirit type quiz, download my free workbook, book a soul reading with me, get clear on your soul lessons, on your purpose, ask your burning questions, and don't forget to listen to our podcast. It's all related. So I'm sending you all my love. Hope you have a beautiful day. See you next week. Bye.